Guys, you feel free to weigh in now, Shaq. You've heard from Shams. You saw the FBI director speaking about this. What do you think?
I know everybody that's at play, and I don't like to sit up here and be hypocritical about certain things. I homeboy gamble, Ernie. You know, bet it. You know, we've been on teams. We played cards. We played spades. We played tonk. But with that being said, every year they would give us forums on what and what not to do. One of those things where if somebody asks you if a certain player is playing, you say no. So all these guys knew what was at stake. And I'm just ashamed that they put themselves and put their family and put the NBA in this position. We all know the rules. We all know the letter of the law. And it's just unfortunate. You know, innocent till proven guilty. But usually when the FBI has something, they have you. You know, FBI, I know a lot of people from the FBI, and I've been in many of those investigations. They'll wait 2, 3, 4, 5 years, but when they come knocking on your door, they have something. And we all know the letter of the law when it comes to gambling and sports gambling. And I don't want to sit up here like I'm some perfect guy. Like every now and then when I go to Vegas, I'll play some craps and I'll play some roulette, but never gambled at anybody's house. Don't know anything about poker, so I don't know what they're talking about when it comes to the Chauncey thing. But I know Chauncey, I know Damon very well, played with Damon, so I don't want to sit up here. But I'm ashamed that those guys would put their families and their careers in jeopardy. There's an old saying in the hood, all money ain't good money. So if you're making $9 million and you're dealing in certain things, like how much more do you need? Especially if you know you get caught, you can do jail time, lose your career. You know, put a bad image on yourself or your family or on the NBA. I agree with you, Chuck. They dropped the ball.
100%.
You know, they had this
100% dropped the ball.
And like you never want to have your name involved in that when you know the letter of the law. And Ernie, again, I know for a fact every year they cancel practice and say don't do this and don't do that and don't do that. So all the guys had the information. So.
Let's let Kenny get in on this thing.
Well, it's super unfortunate. You know, one, because we look at players that are involved and the people that are involved. You know, we're surprised because when you have access and you're at the top of your game, so to speak, as a coaching profession, a player, or whatever, you're at the top of your game, you have access to millions and millions of dollars in this league. So it was surprising that they would put themselves in that position, possibly. It is an innocent until proven guilty. I think the other part is we have to realize gambling is an addiction. So the addiction of it is what makes you make illogical decisions. So not because you make $9 million. There are people who are making, as the FBI director said, there's a man who lost $1.8 million. That means he has a lot of money, so he has an addiction to that, those fish that they talk about that they were bringing in. So gambling is an addiction which can make you make illogical decisions regardless of your ethnic background, regardless of your physical background, and regardless of your financial status. So let's understand that. And I disagree in terms of the NBA dropping the ball. This is an ongoing investigation. There's no way that any FBI or police even would come to anyone and say, hey, this is what we're doing. This is the surprise element always makes it happen. So they cannot overextend the information that they're receiving. And this is about individuals. And last, and I'll let you talk, Chuck. I
wish you would, because you're making me mad right here.
Well, I can make you mad and you can make me mad. I just have my opinion. You're going to have yours. But I also think that because there are people who get speeding tickets doesn't mean everyone in the league speeds. And so don't look at this group of people that are starting to get investigated as the entire league.
I really just want this. You say the league dropped the ball on the Rozier part of this?
Yes.
Because they had already looked at it and said we didn't have enough, but not on the Chauncey. They didn't drop the ball on Chauncey.
First of all, these are two different things.
Yeah, exactly.
It's two different things.
So the league dropped the ball on Rozier, you
Take
say.
Chauncey out the equation.
All right.
And the reason I'm mad at Kenny is, man, this ain't got nothing to do with damn gambling addiction. This ain't got nothing to do with addiction. These dudes are stupid.
Why are they stupid?
under no circumstances can you fix basketball games. Under no circumstances. I love to gamble. The notion, like, Rozier makes $26 million. Him betting, giving people information or taking himself out of games, how much is he gonna benefit taking himself out the game to get unders? Like, he's making $26 million. The notion he gave, how much of these guys he gave a head up? He took himself out of games on prop bets. How much money is he gonna make?
Well, if he did that, you're proving my point.
What do you mean?
That means
that's
that
not
it's an
addiction.
illogical
No,
thought process.
no.
If you're making $26 million to try to win 50,000, like, that's illogical. So that you're proving my point.
No,
It is
that's
an
not addiction. That's stupidity.
The same reason someone goes and uses drugs when they're in the NBA.
Hey, drugs are addiction.
So
we
there's
can
no
agree on
gambling
that.
addiction?
No, yeah, they are gambling addiction. But the notion that you're trying to make it for these guys being addicted, you can't fix basketball games. You cannot fix.
disagree.
Like I say, this is separate from Chauncey. But the notion that guys are making all this money and giving information, come on, man, stop that. Ain't got nothing to do with addiction. That's just total stupidity on these two dudes' parts.
We will have more.